Exhale, blow the candles out. Belly button comes to spine. Pulling the pelvic floor up for 5 seconds. 3, 4, 5. Inhale, release. And exhale, blow those candles out again. So now we're going to go to the quick flicks. You're going to breathe normally. Quick flicks are working on the strength of the pelvic floor. So now we're going to draw the marble up, release it down to the feet. It's about 2 seconds in each direction. Think of pulling the marble up with your pelvic floor, pushing it back down to your feet. Draw it up, release it down to your feet. So the breath is normal, which can be a challenge. So if you find yourself getting exhausted in the pelvic floor and you're like really altering your breath, try to reset. And then after your 10 quick flicks, I'm going to have you put just the feet down to the mat. Give you guys 10 more seconds to get through those quick flicks. Draw up, release down, draw the pelvic floor up, release down. So the next exercise we go into, we're going to take that nice deep breath. Now we're going to work the bands a little bit. Okay? So you're going to breathe into the belly. Release the pelvic floor. Exhale, draw the pelvic floor up. Push the knees out against the band. So you may need to wiggle it down to get more resistance. Pull the marble up. So what you want to feel is an inhale. Knees come back to neutral. Release the pelvic floor. Exhale, blow the candles out. Push that band out. Keep drawing the pelvic floor up and in. So if you feel like you're pushing out really wide, but you're not able to draw the pelvic floor up in together with the glute medius, what you want to do is not push as far. So even if it's just 2 inches, you're just starting to sink all these muscles together. So inhale, relax through the nose. Breathing stays the same. 5-second holds. Keep drawing the marble up front and back. Inhale. Push that marble down to your feet. Exhale, draw up to your head. Knees come wide. Keep holding. You might feel a little shakiness. That's okay. Stabilizing those hips. Inhale, release. Exhale. Bring the knees out. Keep pulling that pelvic floor up. Inhale, release. Marble goes down to the floor, so it's like you're trying to go to the bathroom. Exhale, knees come wide. It's like you're trying to stop the flow of urine. Draw up front and back of the pelvic floor, or tailbone to pubic bone, and pull up. Hold. Inhale, release. Let's go for 2 more. Exhale, so you could kind of go at your own pace. Blow the candles out. Keep drawing the belly button in and up. Give yourself a poke. Make sure that your core is engaged. Inhale, release. So you just really want to focus on pulling the pelvic floor up, which will naturally engage the deeper core muscles and your transverse abdominis. Try not to let the tailbone round too much, so you want to not push through your feet. On the next one, you're going to exhale, go to a normal breath, hold those knees out, normal breathing, 10 quick flicks. So that tailbone staying nice and long, draw the marble up, release it down to your feet. So now this is very isolated of just the pelvic floor moving. You might notice that you're also squeezing your butt. You don't want to be squeezing your butt. If you're pulling up, release down. Pulling up, release down. Pelvic floor, 10 quick flicks, normal breath, knees are staying out. If you can't get the 10 quick flicks, you'd want to bring the knees towards each other a little more, and then try from a less extended position. Pull up. Don't forget the full release. So full contraction all the way up to the head, all the way down to the feet. All the way up to the head, all the way down to the feet. 5 more seconds. Pull up, release down. Full contraction front and back. Full release down to the feet. Okay, so after you did those, just hug the knees to chest real quick. We're going to bring the feet back out. So today we're going to do bridges in a reclined bound position. So what that means is I'm just going to turn a little angled so you can see. My knees are going to be out wide, kind of like on the edge of my feet. And I'm going to keep them wide. We're going to do bridges from here. So you're going to breathe. into the lower belly. Hand rises. Exhale, pull the marble up. You're going to feel a lot in the glutes, lower glutes where the hamstrings meet. Inhale, full belly breath, release the marble. Exhale, draw that marble up, pelvic floor up, hold 5 seconds. Inhale, release. Full belly breath, release the marble. Exhale, draw that pelvic floor up. So same concept, make sure that your ribs are staying pointed down to the hips. You're not just arching the back and lifting. You want to make sure that you can have the glutes working and the pelvic floor simultaneously. Inhale, hips come down. Exhale, draw up. Hold. 3, 4, 5. Inhale through the nose. Release that pelvic floor. Push the marble down to your feet. Exhale. Blow the candles up. 3, 4. Give yourself that poke test. 5. Inhale, release. Ready for this next one? On the exhale, you're going to hold up. Now what you're going to do is pulse out for 10. Keep trying to draw the marble up. 9, 8, 7. Keep that pelvic floor contracted. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale down. Release the pelvic floor. Exhale, come back up. Go to a normal breath. And now you're going to try to do 10 quick flicks in this bridge position with the knees extended. So it might be a little difficult because the pelvic floor is really stretched out here. So if you can't get it because you have a lot of different muscles working together right now, then you could either just get the feet flat and work on a regular bridge with the 10 quick flicks, or lower the hips a little closer to the ground and go from there. So you have the option to try the 10 quick flicks in this kind of external bridge position, or if you can't get it, flatten the feet out, keep the hips up, go for your 10 from here. Marble on that elevator up to your head, down to your feet. Visualize pulling up with your pelvic floor all the way up to your head, pushing that marble all the way down to your feet, all with the pelvic floor. Stop the flow of your arm, draw up, release, draw up, release. So make sure you're getting that full contraction, full relaxation. Go for about 5 more seconds. 4, 3, 2. Good, and relax. We're going to roll on to stay on your back. So now we're going to add, I'm going to keep this angle so you can kind of see what I'm doing. We're going to go into another bridge, but this time we're going to add a single leg press out. So it's going to be challenging. Feet are going to start more hip width. We're going to breathe into the low belly. As you exhale, you're going to come up, lift one leg up, press out, back together, and down. Keep that leg up. Inhale, exhale up, single leg bridge, little press out here on that left leg, and back down. The goal, again, is to keep the pelvic floor contracted through the whole movement, which is going to help stabilize that right leg and right hip. So exhale up, keep drawing the marble up as the leg comes out, back down. At any time, if the band feels like it's too much resistance and you can't kind of get that pelvic floor moving, contracted with all this motion and resistance, then you could take the band off. Okay, so we're just going to do a few more. Inhale, release. Exhale, draw the marble up. Leg comes out. Inhale, hips come back down. Release the pelvic floor. Exhale, up. Good, one more. Inhale, down. Exhale, draw the marble up. Leg comes out. Back together and down. Good, so now we're going to switch sides. Could start with both feet down. Full belly breath. Inhale. Exhale, come up. Right leg's up. Right leg comes out to the side. Make sure that your hips aren't dropping open, so keep that pelvic floor engaged. Inhale down, release the pelvic floor. Exhale up. Press out to the side. Back to neutral. Inhale down. One side might be harder. Fill the belly. Release the pelvic floor. Blow the candles out. Come up. Remember, it doesn't matter how far out you're bringing that right leg. It just matters if you can control this movement with the pelvic floor being engaged. So if you're just working on the single leg straight up and down, that's okay. You don't have to go to that kind of abduction when you come up. Let's go for a few more. Inhale, release. Exhale, draw up. One more. Inhale, release. Full belly breath. Exhale, draw the marble up and come out. Back to neutral and down. Rest for a second. Hug the knees to chest. Take a nice deep breath. All right, so we're going to go on to our side. We're going to go into one set of advanced clams. So you have the option to keep the band on or take it off. Knees stacked, feet stacked. Bring the knees up in front of you so there's no arch in this back. Tailbone's nice and long. You're going to inhale to the belly. Exhale, bring that knee up. Belly button comes to spine, hold. So the full leg is going to come up. Inhale, release, down. Release the pelvic floor, full belly breath. Exhale, blow the candles out. Hold up, poke test. You could draw that other side off the mat too if you can, but you want to make sure that you're able to do this keeping that pelvic floor contracted and pulling up. Inhale, release, full belly breath. Exhale, blow the candles out. Hold it. Hold, hold, hold. A lot of hips going on here. Inhale, release. Full belly breath. Exhale, draw the pelvic floor up. Blow the candles out. Keep pulling up. Good. Inhale down. Exhale up. Inhale down. Pull the marble up, blow the candles out, poke test, core should be engaged. So now what I'm going to have you do is hold the pelvic floor contracted, go to normal breath, but keep the pelvic floor pulled up. You're going to go 10 repetitions, 10, continuing to keep the pelvic floor drawn up the whole time, 9, 8, again, you're only going as high as you can, keeping the pelvic floor engaged with the whole hips working. 5, 4, 3, 2, hold it, keep drawing up, good, come down. So it's a lot on the hips. We're going to switch sides. Other side, feet stacked, advanced clams, heads down and relaxed. Starting with the full belly breath, right into that side. Inhale, release the pelvic floor. Make sure your hips stay stacked. You don't want that top hip rolling back. Exhale, draw the marble up, lift that leg, keep pulling the pelvic floor up. You can pull the opposite side against the mat up too. Poke test. Inhale, release the leg, release the pelvic floor. Exhale, blow the candle out. Pull the pelvic floor, pull that marble up, top leg. Try not to arch the low back, okay? If you feel like you're arching your low back, bring the knees up a little more in front of you. Inhale, release. Exhale, blow the candles out, draw the marble up, hold 3 to 5. Inhale, release. Full belly breath, release that pelvic floor. Exhale, draw the marble up to your head. Nice, strong pelvic floor contraction here with this movement. If the leg is a little shaky, that's okay. That means you're working on stabilizing that hip. Inhale. Exhale, blow the candle out. You should feel the belly button come to spine. You could keep touching, keep a hand on the hips, on your belly if you want, but definitely keep checking in. Inhale, release. Release that pelvic floor, so drop the marble down to your feet, blow the candles out, pull the marble all the way up to the head, hold, keep drawing up. Inhale, release. So one side might feel harder than the other because one hip is probably weaker. Exhale, pull that marble up, hold that leg. So this hip should be burning a little bit. We're going to go into an endurance set. So now you're going to draw the pelvic floor in and up. Hold it there. You could go to a normal breath, and we're going to go for 10 repetitions. 10, keep pulling the pelvic floor up. Try not to disengage the pelvic floor the whole time. And make sure you're not holding your breath, you're breathing. 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2 more. Keep pulling up. At some point you'll disengage, but you want to keep checking in. Last one. Good. Release. Rest everything. You're going to take that band off. And we're actually going to sit on top of a ball or chair and use this band in our hands for a minute. So grab your ball. Now we're going to go to stabilizing. So all core stability. Hey, Alicia, came. Appreciate the feedback, Kathy, as always. So we're going to sit now right on top of this ball and get a little closer to you guys. Goal is grab your loop band. The goal is to keep those ribs down, belly button pulling in and up, so the core stays tight through this whole next series. It really depends on the strength of your loop band. We're going to bring the arms out to the front. So what you're going to do is you want to keep the breath normal. You're just going to squeeze the shoulder blades back. So this one's really hard. If you have a lighter band, you could grab the lighter band. If you have, all my stuff just fell out. If you have one of these bands, you could also grab a longer band, kind of wrap it for a full range of motion. But if you have a loop band and you pull out a little bit, that's okay. We're just kind of working on moving the shoulder blades, squeezing the upper back. See how my knees just caved in? So we want to make sure they stay stable, core stays stable. So what you're going to do is normal breath, squeeze the shoulder blades, push out against the band, come back to neutral. Squeeze, come back. So if you have a tight band, it's going to look like that, very small range of motion. If you have more length, you're going to pull back, band comes towards chest, but the ribs aren't flaring. You're keeping the belly button pulled in, okay? So whatever you have, use that. The goal is core stability, strengthening those upper back, reverse shoulder, rear delts, upper middle back, so you should feel the shoulder blades kind of moving together. Keep going. The goal is, again, staying stable. So your belly button's pulled in and up. You're not holding your breath. You are breathing. So breathe as you pull. Ribs stay down to the hips. Squeezing the shoulder blades back. You should feel this a lot in the abs if you are staying stable. If you're not staying stable, it's going to look like this. Chest comes out, back arches. So belly button stays pulled up and in. Exhale. You'll feel a lot more in the upper back and shoulders if you stabilize properly. And you get a double whammy where you get to work your core. I know you're getting tired here. Let's go for 3 more. Breathe. 3, 2, and 1. Rest. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to have you bring that band in closer. You're going to pull out gently on the band. So the elbows are glued to the side. You're just kind of rotating out a little bit. Keep those abs tight. You're going to press out and then bring the elbows back in. Press out. So you're pulling out on the band as you're doing this. You're creating tension, requiring your abs to work more, especially as you press out. So if you push out and you feel like your knees are kind of wiggling around or you start to arch, you're coming out of position. So you only go out as far as you can go. If it's more comfortable to bring your hands inside of the band and push out against it, that's okay too. So kind of play with it, see what feels better. Keep driving the ribs in. Shoulder should be burning a little bit. Shoulder blades working down and back. so don't let the shoulders pop out. Okay, keep going. 5 more seconds. Keep working that core. Nice tall posture. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good, rest. So that whole shoulder should be burning. Feel it working. Goal again is stabilizing the core through motion. So next I'm going to have you step on the band. And again, it depends if your band is going to allow you to do this. So if for some reason, like, nobody can get this one, please comment. Let me know that the band you have isn't working. We're going to do a bicep curl, single arm, but with the band. So you're stepping on it with the right foot. Sit up nice and tall. Curl, release. Elbow stays glued to the side. Now, because it's a single-sided, you're gonna want to, like, your core is gonna want to bend so you could get that range of motion. The goal is to stay up tall, working that transverse abdominis, core for stability as you're pulling on this bicep. Doesn't matter if you come up all the way, even if it's halfway. Straighten. Shoulder blade stays back so you're not shrugging. Poke the core. Belly button's pulling in and up. So you should feel a little tension pulling up on the pelvic floor just by your core positioning. Go for about 5 more. Make sure you're breathing. 4, 3, 2, and rest. So now we're going to switch sides. Step on with the left. So one arm might be stronger than the other. Again, it's not really about how much you could curl. It's about staying stable while we work one side at a time. Breathe. Curl up. Breathe. Exhale, curl. Everything. So check yourself. Check each other if you have somebody with you. Poke your belly. Make sure you're drawing in and up. If you're tense here, likely you're not going to be falling over. Exhale, pull. 3 more. 3, 2, and 1. Good, rest. So last one we're going to do for upper body and sitting on top of the ball before we move back down to the mat. We're going to do an external rotation. So this is the posture muscles, your rotator cuffs that help kind of keep those shoulders back. Also, it's hard to work without kind of compensating your form. So what you're going to do, elbows stay glued to the side. You're not moving them. Arms are 90 degrees. From here, you're just pivoting from the shoulder. Hands come out, back together. So I'm going to show you straight. I'm going to show you sideways. Watch my elbows. They're not moving. They stay stable. Exhale, a lot of abs. Ribs are working down to the hips. Just so you can see back, shoulder blades moving, elbows staying stable. Okay, so go for about 5 more. 5, breathe. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. Rest. You could go into a child's pose. Just stretch everything out, and then we're going to lay back on our backs. Okay, so when you're on your back, well, after you stretch, we're going to grab the ball. We're going to use, so if you don't have a ball, you can use a weight, all right? So if you don't have a ball, you can use a light weight in your hands. We are going to work on, again, just the stability before we turn this into a more dynamic exercise. So ribs down to hips, belly button pulled up and in, so flattening that back towards the mat. Hold the weight or hold the ball. You're just bringing the ball overhead as far as you can go, not letting the ribs pop up. and then back to neutral. If you want an added challenge, you could do a single leg tabletop. If you want to make it harder, double leg tabletop. Arms come overhead, ribs are working down as the arms come up. Belly button's continuing to draw in and up. So try not to brace, but the pressure's still pushing out. Okay, breathe. Normal breath, arms up. You can do single leg if that's too hard. Keep drawing that belly button in and up. You don't want to just be bracing, you want to be bracing properly. So ribs staying down to the feet, to the hips, belly button's drawing in and up. It's not a brace with the pressure pushing out on your belly button, you want to pull in. Keep it going. Keep drawing it out only as far as you could go, keeping that core stable, back flat. Good, rest. So now we're going to do a pass through. So if you have a weight, you're not going to do the pass through. You're just going to keep the weight going overhead as the feet come down and then bring them back together. So it's going to be breath. Again, range of motion is dependent on how tight you can keep that core, how stable you're keeping the core, and if you can breathe. You don't want to be holding your breath. If you have the ball, you could pass through to the feet, come back down, and come up. Keep pushing the ribs down. Range of motion means nothing. Proper form before a greater range of motion. Draw that back down towards the mat. Belly button in and up. Ribs aren't popping. Back's not popping. Breathe. 10 more seconds. Okay, or you could tap, come back out, tap, come back out. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. Whoops. Rest. Rest for a sec. So next thing we're going to do is inverted Bert Dog. So that means one of my favorites where the hands are up against the ball. The ball's on the knees, top of the knees, not down here on the shins, top of the knees, arms are straight, lock those elbows in. You could either hold it here, you could go to a single leg tabletop, okay? So find where you need to be. Single leg tabletop, push down into the ball, drive up with the knee. Hold it, or you have both legs. We're just going to go 10 seconds, and then we're going to kind of alternate hands and legs. 5, 4, 3, 2, rest. I don't know about y'all, but that's tiring, so that's really difficult to do. Make sure you're not pushing too much. You want to make sure you could stabilize. So definitely work that single leg if it's single leg. Better to build the foundation. You don't have a ball. If you don't have a ball, you could just push into the knees, pull. You could do single arm, single side, same thing. Push down, pull up. Okay? So now, if you don't have a ball for this next one, you could just keep the arms up. We're going to work opposite arm, opposite leg. If you have the ball, opposite arm, opposite leg. Few inches or full extension, but please don't go to full extension without being able to stabilize. So even now at this point, you should be pretty fatigued. So even if you're full extension for 3 or 4 and you have to rest, that's okay. If you are doing single leg, you would just do single leg, the arms overhead, left foot down, bring it up, bring it back down, bring it up, bring it back down, bring it up, bring it back down. So that's tough. Basically, find where you need to be with this exercise. Continuing to draw the belly button in and up, ribs pointing down. Play with it. I'm going to let you go. Rest. Try it. Rest. Go through this for about 20 more seconds. So whatever variation you need to do, or you could play with a few different variations, that's what you want to do. Go through it, rest. 10 more seconds. Wherever you're at. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rest. Awesome job. Okay. We're going to move on to the combination part. So we're going to, you guys don't have the ball. We're going to do back extensions and side extensions on the ball, or you could use the mat. But what we're going to do is we're going to repair the breath and exercise and bring the pelvic floor back into it. So if you don't have a ball, you could start on your stomach, feet down. You're going to inhale, and then you're going to exhale. Just draw the top of your chest up and arms, pinch the shoulder blades, draw the pelvic floor up. So it's going to be inhale down into the belly, belly's into the mat. Exhale, draw that belly button off the mat, pull the pelvic floor up, hold. Inhale down. Exhale, come up and hold. If you have a ball, you're going to bring the ball to the hips. So you're on the belly. You could put your feet against a couch or a wall to help stabilize you. I'm slipping. If I had my bare feet, it would work. So you would come down, inhale, push your belly into the ball, exhale, draw the pelvic floor up and belly off the ball, come up, keep drawing in and up. Inhale, release. Exhale, draw that pelvic floor in and up. Back extension. So keep going wherever you are. Again, if you're using the ball, you might want to put your feet against something to help stabilize. Inhale down. Exhale comes up. As you're up, you're pulling the pelvic floor up, belly button to spine. Inhale down, push your belly into the ball or the floor. Exhale, draw the pelvic floor up, back extension. Inhale down. Exhale, draw the marble up, pull your belly button to spine. Inhale down. Exhale up. Feel your glutes working, low back, anterior by supporting from the pelvic floor. Transverse abdominis. One more. Inhale down. Exhale up. Good. And rest. So now we're going to take this into a side plank. If you're on the ball, it's going to be a side extension. So again, your foot can be on something, or if you're able to stop yourself from sliding, that would work too. Where I got to show you again something. All right, so the hips on the ball, you're going to inhale. You want to make sure that hip is actually, the ball is down on the hip, so you get to extend over the ball. So you extend, inhale, exhale, pull the pelvic floor up, and come up to the crunch. So inhale, extend, both feet can be against the wall. Inhale, extend. Exhale, draw the pelvic floor. This is going to be tough. If you're on the ball, it's a lot more pressure. Or if you're in a side plank, you could go modified, where the knee is bent, but make sure everything's in a straight line, hip, shoulder, head. Inhale as you're on the ground. Exhale, pull the marble up as you push up. Or full plank. So inhale as you're on the ground. Elbow is underneath the shoulder. You can use this hand to kind of help you, especially if it's very challenging for you, that's okay. So inhale. If you can hold it, hold it. If it looks like just 1 second for you, then it's 1 second. Perfectly fine. Inhale, breathe. Exhale, pull the marble up. Lift. Inhale, release. Try to release the pelvic floor. Exhale, draw the marble up. Inhale, drop the hip. Release the pelvic floor. Exhale, draw the marble up. Keep pulling in and up. Inhale down. Exhale up. 2 more. Squeeze your butt 2. Inhale down, squeeze the glutes. Exhale, pull that marble up. Inhale, release. Exhale, hold. Keep drawing the marble up. 5, 4, 3, 2, and we're going to switch sides. So you could either do it on the ball or off the ball. Other side. Inhale. Inhale into the belly. Release the pelvic floor. Exhale, draw that marble up. Inhale, drop it down. Inhale to the belly. Exhale, pull the marble up. Inhale, push the marble down to your feet. Exhale, draw the marble up to your head. Inhale, down to the feet. Exhale, draw the marble up to your head. Inhale, down to the feet, release it. Exhale, draw the marble up to your head. 2 more. Inhale, release down to your feet. Exhale, pull the marble up to your head. Inhale, drop it down to your feet. Exhale, hold it up 5 seconds. Keep pulling that marble up. 4, 3, 2, and rest. Go into another wide knee child's pose to stretch it out. All right, so last one, and then last exercise, I'm going to have you guys stand up. Grab either a small weight or a ball. Finish my morning cold coffee. All right, so grab the small weight or a ball. What we're going to do is you're going to hold it down. Let's see how we're going to do this breath. You're going to squat down, arms come up. Exhale, draw the pelvic floor up. Inhale down, belly button's coming to spine. Exhale, draw the pelvic floor up as you come up. Inhale, exhale. Doesn't have to be a deep breath. It's more of a normal breath, but we're still pairing the movement with pelvic floor. So you're sitting down and back to a squat, arms come up, sitting into the heels. Push up through the heels, draw the pelvic floor in and up. Sit back into the heels, draw the pelvic floor up. So pull that marble up as you stand. Inhale down, exhale, pull the marble up. Watch your squat form. Make sure the knees aren't caving in. Slight push out, up. Inhale. So you put a chair in back of you too, which helps. Or you tap your butt down to the chair and then come up. Tap your butt down to the chair, draw the marble up. Down to the chair, draw the marble up. Down to the chair, draw the marble up. All right, now we're not going to stand all the way up. So we're going to inhale down, exhale up. Keep the arms out, sit down and back. Come up, not all the way up. Down and back, pull the pelvic floor up. Sit down, pull that marble up. Sit down, pull the marble up. 4 more, sit down. Pull the marble up. 3 more. 3, 2, shoulder blades back, chest stays up, and 1. Rest. Woo! We're going to do that one again because it's beautifully challenging. Okay, so this is a glimpse into the last part of class where we're pairing pelvic floor contraction with movement. So we're going to go back to the squat. Sit down and back. Inhale down. Exhale, draw the marble up. Inhale down. Sit in the chair. Exhale, pull that pelvic floor up. Inhale down. Exhale, draw the marble up. Inhale down. Exhale, draw the marble up. Slightly pushing out with the knees. Pull the marble up. So now we're not going to stand up all the way. Inhale down. Exhale, draw the marble up. Arms stay out. If it's too much, you don't need to keep the arms out. Good. Keep that chest nice and tall. Just flat back, meaning don't round the shoulders. Keep drawing the marble up as you stand. 5, pull up. Inhale down. Exhale up, inhale down, exhale up, pull the pelvic floor up as you stand. 2 more, inhale down, draw that marble up, 1 more. Awesome. Whew. Rest. We're going to go into our Pelacore stretches now.